I couldn't ignore the signs anymore, the late night errands, the whispered calls, the way my husband's eyes darted whenever my cousin was around. Last Friday, I followed him out the door, heart pounding so hard I could barely breathe. I watched from the corner of the street as he slid into her car, their bodies close, laughter muffled by the rolled-up windows. For a second, I thought I saw her hand on his thigh. My stomach dropped. I followed them across town, pulse racing, until they disappeared into the dim light of an old motel. I waited outside, burning with rage and humiliation, rehearsing the confrontation over and over. When they finally emerged, I stormed up, ready to unleash every accusation I'd been bottling up. But instead of guilt, they looked startled, then irritated. "You weren't supposed to see this," my cousin hissed, shoving a battered notebook into her purse. My husband tried to pull me aside, his voice low and urgent, but I refused to move. I demanded answers, right there in the parking lot, my vision blurring with angry tears. That's when they dropped the bomb. They were both undercover journalists, teaming up for a piece on suburban scandals, and I was their focus. My husband, the man I'd trusted with everything, had been feeding her stories for weeks, twisting every argument and private moment into tabloid fodder. Apparently, my cousin pitched the story after hearing about her last fight, and he agreed to help her expose the truth. The betrayal stung worse than any affair. My own family had turned my life into a spectacle. I felt hollow, replaying every moment they must have dissected on paper, the screaming matches, the slammed doors, the nights I cried myself to sleep. I realized I'd spent years performing a version of myself for two people who saw my pain as entertainment. I could forgive an affair, maybe, but not this, being reduced to a headline in someone else's story. I walked away from both of them, unsure if I was angrier at their betrayal or at myself for letting them write my life without my consent.